AFTV, we're down here at the London Stadium, along with Nicky from West Ham FanTV. I was going to make a joke about the stadium, about how we're...
You've already made it on my...
Yeah, I know. I was going to say how we're paying for it and that, but I know I've already made it on your channel.
We'll own it soon, Rob, I promise. I promise you.
When will you own it?
We're going to own it very soon.
When?
I can't tell you when. Within the next 5 years, I reckon.
He's settled in now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, no. I still think it's a pile of shite, mate, to be honest. But I don't want to complain too much because...
I like that, though. I was saying on your channel, I like the way you put that screen around it and that. That looks good. It does. I have to say, right, when you're walking up over the bridge and you come over, it does look very impressive.
It's visually impressive. Impressive. But inside, mate, it's like a Lego set. You know what I mean? Yeah, they've done the outside, but they didn't bother to do the inside. They just put that together with quickly. You know what I mean? But no, look, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're not going anywhere. So stop moaning, innit?
It'd be a great atmosphere this week. It's a big game. Both teams been a bit indifferent at them. 1 week brilliant, and next week you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a real 50-50 game, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, you're the bigger team in it. You know what I mean? So you're going to be expected to win. But I think that could play into our hands, really. We've been a bit indifferent. We had some good form in December, really good form in December.
Yeah. He's on a great winning streak, weren't you?
Yeah, I think the injuries and the fatigue caught up with us in the end, like for the Watford game and the Burnley game. But we done well, man. We got 5 wins and a draw out of eight games. So over Christmas, I think that's our best ever Christmas. So it put us in a brilliant position because we was on something like 12 points or 15 points before that. So it put us up the table. There was a couple of times, the Watford game and the Burnley game, where we could have gone 7th. And we could have really, before Man United had that upturn in form, we would have been right up their arses, you know what I mean? So, look, I can't complain. The football's getting better. The injuries have taken their toll, but I think there's more signings coming. Look, we've just signed Sammy and Nasri. We'll talk about him in a minute, I'm sure. But, I think there's a couple more to come in. We've put in a bid for that Dennis Suarez, who you want.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
So, they seem like they're serious in what they're trying to do here, what they're trying to build. I think they've got a manager that they believe in. We believe in him.
I was going to ask you about Pellegrini. You like him?
Love him. Yeah. Just the difference between Bilic and Moyes and him is black and white. You know what I mean? It's so different. You go into games believing that you can win. You believing that you're going to do. You're believing that you're going to go for it at least, even if you don't win. And we've seen some brilliant performances under him. Bad start. Look, we're implementing so many different signings into the team, but it's like a new dawn. And you know what I mean? And we sat here in March last year, and we thought it was the end. We thought that the club would go down, and like we wouldn't see the old West Ham again. But slowly and surely, they say about the mythical West Ham way, but this is the West Ham way. It's just playing some good football and entertaining the fans, and that's what we missed over here.
You've got some quality players. I mean, me looking at it, the players that I'm worried about. Straight away, I'm worried about Felipe Anderson because he looks quality. I'm worried about Arnautovic. I'm worried about Andy Carroll because all of a sudden he's back and he always seems to have a good game against us. And now defences look shaky. I'm worried about your forward players. You know what I mean? You're really, really good going forward. This kid, Felipe Anderson, I mean, I wouldn't even mind us going in and having a look at him at the end of the season. Obviously, you wouldn't want to sell, but he looks quality.
He started very slowly. He started one of them players that didn't look interested, didn't look like he adapted, and I was quite critical of him early. Effort-wise, he wasn't very good, but since Pellegrini's implemented him into the side, found a way to play with him, found the way that, he's made him track back a little bit more, I think, in certain games, and since then he's been a revelation. He's just been Pierre-esque at times, you know what I mean? Like if you're making a comparison to normal, to modern day players, Pierre-esque at times. He's the one that excites us, but he can go missing.
I hope he's missing this week. I'll tell you.
He can go missing. Like he isn't perfect, but him, Arnie, even Nasri when he came in.
Arnie's Arnautovic.
Mark Arnautovic, yeah. Even Nasri, when we see him in the FA Cup, him and Arnautovic in the first 20 minutes were linking up brilliantly. So we've got players now. That's what we've lacked a little bit, is players going forward, especially with Lanzini going out. And I think we're in a good position now. And if you've got a dodgy defence, Arnie's going to bully him. But then it goes the same way with Arsenal, isn't it? Like
your defence has been a bit shaky as well, isn't it?
Yeah, since Balbuena, we lost Balbuena in the Watford game for a few weeks. Since he's come out, he's been a real rock in the defence, him and Diop. They sort of complement each other brilliantly. Ogbonna's come in and he's unstabled the ship. He's been a bit shaky, Ogbonna. Not the player he was. Aging a little bit. He's rumoured to be on his way out. But if Balbuena plays, I'm more confident, you know what I mean? Because Ogbonna does make the ship a little bit shaky. We've lost Zabaleta for a little while as well, so Antonio's had to go makeshift defence, a bit like yourselves, I suppose. But if they're all fit, I'm confident. I am confident.
You know, it's the first time in a long time I come over here and I've done an interview with you, and you've been this confident. I mean, because you have got a good team at the moment. But what about the Arsenal team? What are you worried about from us?
The forward players, again, as I said, I was speaking to Ryan yesterday. It's a little bit... the forward players are frightening. Aubameyang and Lacazette are frightening. They do frighten me, especially if we've got Ogbonna playing. But when I spoke to Ryan, there is a defence that we can get at and a defence that we can attack. So, yeah, the forward players... Because if we're not in our game, they're players that could rip you to shreds, you know what I mean? And I like to look at the kid in the middle,
Torreira,
yeah. He seems to break up play a little bit. So if we're not on our game, he could really stifle us in creating chances. But I'm quite confident, Rob. I am quite confident.
I like the fact that he's confident, you know. I kind of don't like when I come over here, like, yeah, Rob, you're going to smash us through, and then we end up getting beat. But we ain't got a too bad a record, Arsenal, here, have we?
Rob, we could go for the league, mate. Nobody's got a bad record here. I think we've got the worst. Everyone's had points off us here and goals and everything else. Yeah, but this is the thing. As I said, I was talking to Ryan. Different team. Depends what Arsenal turn up. Depends what West Ham turn up. We could come here and nick a 2-1 win, or you could come here and put 6 past us.
I get the feeling it's going to be a high-scoring game because both defences ain't at it. You know, even though Arsenal got players coming back, I'm going to be really interested to see if maybe Ozil might be back in time for this game. Yeah. Even if he is fit, if we play him. But, you know, it's going to be early kickoff. Does that affect it? Do you think sometimes for you?
Sometimes it does, because players go into it without knowing what's going on around them, if you know what I mean. So, look, not that we're looking at anyone, but there's no pressure, you know what I mean? If you go in at half-time and you're playing a 3 o'clock game and you're chasing, say, for instance, you're chasing Chelsea and Chelsea are winning 2-0, they're thinking, right, we've got to go out there and win. Sometimes that can put a little bit of pressure on you. But 12:30, I think it's just get the game out of the way, see what happens.
No, there's a lot of pressure for us. We got to win that game. Yeah. I mean, why'd you go and buy that snake Nasri for? I mean...
Do you know what? He was free. That's one reason. He was for nothing. But we need creative. Look, Lanzini's out for a long time. I think we're going to see him in February, March, but I don't think he's going to be up to speed till like April, May. So he's going to miss the season. And that's one thing we're going to be lacking a little bit in midfield is creativity. And look,
you look decent, Nasri, since he's coming.
Look, he played one game here, played the FA Cup game, played 60 minutes. He's got the touch, he's got the brain. Maybe he ain't got the legs anymore. Maybe he ain't got the...
You'll have him against us because he'll be motivated. Whoa. And our fans will be tearing into him because we don't really like him too much. But
it might just be a little bit too early for him at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
I think you start.
He might start. But he won't last the whole game for start. But, you know, as long as he's motivated. But look, that little creativity could be the difference. You know what I mean? As I said on our channel, him and Nanautovic seem to link up really nicely, like they've been playing together for years. When Carroll comes on, it's a different kettle of fish. You know what I mean? He doesn't move. He's like that lamppost over there.
But he always does all right against us at physical aerial presence.
But the thing is, I said to Ryan, I said when we played against the more physical teams, sometimes he's not as effective, especially since he's come back from injury. He looks a little bit yard off the pace this time. He looks like, you know, he's losing the half-yard jump and all that he used to, you know, the vertical leap. But against teams like Arsenal that are not so physical, he could be a real tool, you know what I mean? So expect to see him at some point this weekend, I reckon.
Okay, listen, predictions, mate?
I think we're going to win 2-1. 2-1? I think we're going to win 2-1, yeah.
As I said on your channel, I'm going to a high-scoring game, 3-2 to the Arsenal. I think it's going to be one of them games who scores most, because both defences go a bit dodgy. Both defences have been conceding a lot of goals, but I'm looking forward to it. Always like coming down here. London Stadium, Saturday, 12:30 kickoff UK time. It's the big one. Arsenal really need to win this. For us, this is a huge game. We've got Man United breathing down our neck, and we need to catch up on Chelsea. We must get 3 points here at the London Stadium.